mic. Hi guys, it is Lavender here. Welcome back to the channel. Today's video is going to be another reading vlog. I've been kind of, like I said, oh my gosh, are you what's happening? Why are you being like this? Why are you so clunky? This is going to be a weekend reading vlog again because I kind of liked doing the 2-day vlog. Like I said, I'm not following the actual weekend, I'm following my weekend, so I have today and Monday off, so that's kind of like my weekend. So yeah, anyways, the books that I'm currently reading right now are actually 2 books. I have a physical book and a Kindle book. For the physical book, I'm currently reading The 7 Years Slip by Ashley Poston. This is basically like it's a contemporary romance book. On page 82, which is chapter 9. And I decided I was going to stop reading this for a little bit before I started this vlog, just because I was kind of like, you know, when you first start a book and don't know if you're gonna like it, like you don't know, like you want to read it but you don't know if you're gonna like it kind of situation. So like I want to read this book really, really badly. However, it's just that like first initial like reading a book after you finish another one that you're just like, will I finish this one? Like, will I finish this one? I'm not sure. That's kind of where I'm at now. Anyways, basically with this book we are following 2 characters, Clementine and the love interest, which I think is the guy we just met in the book, and we currently follow them, but we mainly follow Clementine. Now Clementine is one of those people where she's not really much of an adventurer anymore. Like, she doesn't do adventuring anymore after her aunt passed away. She was very close to her grandmother, which this book is gonna freaking hurt me because same. And if literally I just know this book is gonna hurt me a little bit because already it's like made me not cry, but it's made me like feel like, even though she's still fine, like she's alive, she's like, my grandmother's alive, it's still making me feel like I'm going to be screwed emotionally whenever my grandmother does pass away. Anyways, so basically, yeah, she was once an adventure traveler, you know, doing things with her grandmother because her grandmother was a very like wild and like free spirit, so she did a lot of things. Then her grandmother passes away and she's basically kind of like a different person. Like, she's written off doing that because it's not like her anymore, like it's not who she is anymore. And so she ends up getting the apartment her grandmother owned, or her grandmother rented. This apartment is known to have magical kind of like abilities where it basically takes you 7 years in the past or 7 years in the future. And she walks in randomly one day and basically sees that her apartment is completely different. The things that her grandmother owned that she put away in storage are now there. Like, they're now unpacked, opened, everywhere. And she meets a guy she meets a guy who basically is like, your grandmother told me to stay here, like your grandmother told me it was okay to stay here. And the thing is like, he is 7 years in the past, so her grandmother is still alive. Her grandmother is still alive because it's 7 years in the past, so her grandmother's like talking to him, being like, hey, yeah, you can stay here, blah 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 blah. Anyways, that's basically that. And there's 2 rules. One of the rules in her apartment is, from her grandmother, is that you have to take off your shoes. The other one is that you cannot fall in love, because obviously it's difficult to be in love with somebody who is 7 years in the past. Anyways, that's the premise of the story. For my Kindle read, I am currently reading, like I said in the last vlog, Fairytale. And Fairytale is like a dark gothic romance kind of book. And basically where I'm at right now is she is kind of, I don't know too much, I can't say too much of what's happening because if I'm being completely honest, I myself don't know how to word it, or don't know what's really going on right now. All I know is that she is now in Fairytale and she's met like a good chunk of the family and some random mysterious guy who apparently was in one of the buildings that she thought was vacant. Anyways, that's all I really know for sure, but I'm actually kind of loving it, and I'm going to continue reading it throughout the day. I think I do at one point want to obviously read this book because I think my goal is to finish these books like in a week or so. Maybe even less time if I really feel like it. But basically I'm gonna just spend the time reading because this week, or last week I should say, has been a whirlwind and exhausting, and my body is in pain, really. So I'm just gonna spend the day reading, but we did get one exciting package, which I was talking about in my last video, and it finally came. My Kindle insert. Now, I did order this off of an Etsy store, which you saw in my last vlog, but I had to print it at a different shop because my printer is funky and likes to print whatever it wants to print, and I mean that as it picks and chooses when it wants to work. It doesn't always work, but it does sometimes, and so I was not going to. Also, I think it's like run out of ink, so I was just like, I'll spend $4 for someone else to print it and deal with it. So basically, it's open time. I still don't know. I think my little dragon guy is supposed to be here like next week, unfortunately, but it's whatever. Oh, it's so cute. Oh my gosh. So this is the thing I chose, the little insert I chose. It's Fourth Wing inspired because duh, Fourth Wing is like my favorite book right now. Like, I'm not gonna lie, Fourth Wing is turning into my favorite like book, if I'm being completely honest. Like my favorite series. Granted, I haven't finished Iron Flame, so I basically got a Fourth Wing inspired one, also because there's like thunderbolts, dragons, and a really cool castle, and I feel like that also is like tying my dark gothic side of me. But yeah, it's super cute. I do think I don't know if it's exactly, I will have to cut out and make it work because it is still a little bit too big. The thing about this is that my Kindle is not the Paperwhite. It's not the Paperwhite or the other one, or the whatever other Kindle there is out there. My Kindle's actually the Fire Kindle, and it's the 12th generation, I think it is. So I had to search wide for a case because I got the wrong case the first time I bought a case. So I had to go and like search what my Kindle was, how to go search the case, and I mean I have searched. So I will unfortunately have to kind of cut it down a little bit more to shape or to fit my Kindle. But I'm super duper happy that she is almost complete. Like, she's almost complete, and I'm super excited. I did also do my nails last night. I was gonna film them, but it was like 7 o'clock at night. It was one of those nights where I didn't need to do my nails. Last night was one of those nights where I just needed to put pop headphones on and listen to music and just kind of therapeutically do my nails. I will pop up a better picture of what they look like, but they're basically black and gold because I was like, I was gonna put red in them, but I decided not to at the last minute. So yeah, but anyways, I'm gonna go eat my breakfast, drink my energy drink, and I will catch you guys in the little update or whenever I talk to you guys next. sucks because the sun is going down, so lighting sucks. But anyways, so I'm currently reading 100 pages of 7 Years Slip, and I'm on page 143 of chapter 18, loving it, flying through it. Anyways, and the thing that I had a theory, a very early theory in the beginning going on, that I'm not gonna say it because I don't know if it's a spoiler, and I also don't know how well people would like me if I said it. But I just got it confirmed. And I feel smart. Because I was like, what if this is the guy? What if this is the guy? And it is. That's all I'm gonna say. It is the guy. Anyways, yeah, so far, she unfortunately is not in the apartment with him anymore. And basically, what's happening is her company's wanting her to get a deal with a cookbook kind of deal, because she's in publishing, but she's in publishing with traveling guides and cookbooks and all that kind of stuff. And so her company's wanting to get a cookbook deal, whatever, contract signed with one of the renowned chefs, like an institute or whatever. And it turns out that guy is the guy that she saw in her apartment 7 years in the past. So now it's 7 years in the future, and she sees him, and she's like, it was right under my nose. What the frick? Yeah, so now I'm very interested to see what happens, because like I feel like there's gonna be some sort of like recognition between the two, but then like what happened? So yeah. Anyways, that's that. Try to update you guys and say that I was right on my theory and now I feel smart. But yeah, I'm gonna continue reading and go make dinner. I'm probably gonna make quesadillas. So I did the thing. I looked up the fan art for this book. Did the thing. And I won't say I'm easy to please when it comes to, book boyfriends. Won't say I'm easy to please. Won't say that. But what I will say is, oh my gosh, is he someone that I would personally date or personally go with? No. But he does look fine as hell. Oh my god. Oh my god. Yeah, no, I wouldn't personally date him, no, or be with him, no, like, he's not my type. But he is fine as hell. I'm almost like wanting to put a picture up, but I'm not going to. I want to, but I'm not going to. Yeah, no, I am eating this book up. I just got to the part where they were meeting in person for a little business meeting. And, safe to say, I am eating this up. I am eating this up. Yeah, and seeing as how I have nothing to do tomorrow, seeing as how tomorrow I am off and I have nothing to do, yep, we might be finishing this book. We might just be finishing this book tomorrow because, oh my gosh. Anyways, I'm gonna go. I was wondering, because I knew this book was gonna get sad. I just had a feeling it was gonna get sad. I was wondering when that sadness was gonna kick in. I was like, what do you mean? What is she talking about? The grief? Like, yeah, that's sad. Duh. Nope, I was wrong. I was so wrong. Oh dear God, this is gonna break me. I just got to that part where she finds out where it's like going back in time in a memory, where she finds out that her aunt died. I'm unwell. I am unwell. Oh my God. What the fuck?
always assigned with Ferrari. I honestly didn't expect it. Why is it happening to me? It leaves me bitter for sure. So, what next?
Carlos played a pivotal role in turning Ferrari back.
Okay guys, it is now the next day. It's a Monday, so this is the last day of this little weekend reading vlog. And before I get started with my day and with reading, I have a little bit of a update for you on terms of where I am with my physical book. So last night I read my 100 pages last night. After I finished reading my 100 pages on my Kindle, I finished my 100 pages of my physical book, which is a 7-year slip, after I went and finished my 100 pages of Fairy Tale on my Kindle. So now I am currently on page 202, which is chapter 26. And it's honestly safe to say that I'm going to try my best to finish this book today. Is that a little bit of a stretch? Is that a little bit of an ambitious challenge, ambitious goal? Maybe yes. But I have literally like this much left, and I have a whole day to myself. Besides when I have to do my laundry. But anyways, so I'm definitely anticipating on finishing this book today, and the thing that is going to push me to finish this book today is my next physical book, which is the Crimson Crown. This is like a retelling of the Snow White, I think. I think it's Snow White. I picked the book up mostly because of the cover, because this is literally stunning, gorgeous Georgina. So this is a duology with the second book, which is soon to come out, which is The White Queen. But I'm super excited to read this because I'm in a very, I like to switch between romance and then contemporary romance and then fantasy romance and then romance and then fantasy itself, just because I get an overall balance of it all. But I think I will enjoy reading this. Also, it's freaking floppy. Like, literally, look at that floppiness. Yes, please. I actually was going to pick this up after I read A Tempest of Tea, but then I decided to pick up this book because I was like, I need something that's also going to be fast-paced and easy. This book is a little over 500 pages, so that is something to keep in mind, as I will probably not be able to finish this book as fast as I'm going to be able to finish this book. But if I finish this book and start reading this book today, there is like a very slim 60% chance, and that's shooting it, even that's being ambitious though, that I will be able to finish my TBR, my physical TBR, mind you, not my Kindle TBR, my physical TBR. much later. It's around like lunchtime, I think. I finally finished my book. I finally finished The 7-Year Slip by Ashley Poston, and I rated this book, I think, like a 3-star. It wasn't my favorite. There were times where I felt like it was a little slow paced, and I feel like this book, I'm glad that I read it. Yes, I'm very glad I read it. But I feel like this book could have been just a little bit more than what it was. The characters were great, were very well written. I just also wish that the author maybe spent a little bit more time on, you know, the main character's grief, of Clementine's grief and whatnot, and how that kind of made her like, that kind of almost made her like put up her walls in an emotional state. I don't know, it's just like something about like how we kept on getting, I feel like we kept on repeating the same things over and over again, which at first we're like, okay, yeah, this is cool, oh, that's connecting, that's a line that was said already. But at the end, it kind of just felt like we were repeating the same things that she said, except to somebody's face. And I'm like, okay, that's great, but also like, can I get a little bit more? Like, is there a little bit more that could go on with it? Like I said in the beginning, the next physical book on my little TBR list is The Crimson Crown. And so far, it is dealing with witches. I read the prologue up to chapter 1, and that's it, just to get a glimpse of like what's happening before I tell you guys anything more. But I think this involves witchcraft and like witches, and kind of like that whole magical thing. Other than that, I do know that we're starting out at, I think, one of the sisters like birthdays or whatever, and it's like a whole like ritual type of situation with the blood moon and all kind of stuff. And I think that's where the Crimson Crown comes in, because it's the whole like whatever. That is this book, and I'm really excited to read it. I'm trying not to like get into this book too, like, I did spend the last 3 hours of my morning like reading this. It's now like 12, and I've been up since like 8 reading this book. So I'm gonna try to not read too much, because I also don't want to get a massive headache and burn out. But I also have Fairy Tale that I could be reading, yeah, this is 500 pages, so there's a little bit more to the story, but I'm really excited to be reading this book, and to see what happens, just because I will say the last few like Disney retellings that I've read, I haven't not enjoyed them, but they haven't hit the spot like I thought they were gonna hit the spot. So I'm very interested to see what this one is gonna be like, especially because it's Snow White. And I think the last book I read that was like a retelling was Cinderella. Cinderella is dead, or Cinderella's not dead, or something like that, I don't know. Just to see what this book is gonna be like, and if I'm gonna enjoy it, and if it's gonna be hit the spot like I want it to hit the spot. I'm just reading the prologue. Why is one of the characters' names my actual first name? I've never ever seen my first name, like my actual first name, in any sort of space other than old TV shows or old movies, and like maybe once or twice. But yet it's in a book. It's in a freaking book. That just threw me off guard. That just caught me off guard. And I was like, wait a minute. What? This is gonna be weird. If she keeps on popping up, this is gonna be weird. Okay, so this is going to be the makeshift outro, because I forgot and also didn't have the energy to film an actual like outro. So this is what you're getting, because it's been now 2 weeks since I filmed that vlog, and I've edited it all. I just need to edit this outro and get it up. But yeah, life just got very crazy, and I just had zero energy to sit down and like edit the video. So I've basically been like editing like 2 minutes at a time, which is crazy. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this vlog. I have since then finished The Crimson Crown. I'm currently right now reading The Heavenly Bodies on my Kindle, and I'm going to then read Anatomy, a Love Story for my physical book next. And then I'm probably not going to include that book in my wrap-up for this month, but I have, like I said, since then finished The Crimson Crown, and I'm currently almost done with Heavenly Bodies on my Kindle. So that will be all included in the wrap up, which is coming next week. But yeah, no, I like I said, I'm so sorry for this short, weird outro. It's just I didn't have time nor the energy to film an actual outro where I like set up the camera and everything like that. So yeah, anyways, like I said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you've read any of the books that I've read in this vlog, please comment down below and tell me your opinion on them, and if you like them or dislike them. And I will talk to you guys in the next video. Bye!